Let's get ready to rumble. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, these carrots are divine. You get a dozen for a dime. It's magic. All right. All right. I know y'all gonna be in here tonight. We rearranged some things. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe to this channel, The Real Gully TV. Right? Alright, what up? I was waiting. Damn, Gully said we're working. I was working. I have been working. I am working. Slick Rick, I've been hearing about it all day. I gotta hear it for myself. I've been hearing about the ruler all day. I'm gonna go check it out as soon as I get done with y'all though. What up? The dribble is in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Come in here and subscribe to your boy. We're gonna talk some hip hop. You don't stop tonight. He said, it's money on the floor. Man, I heard it's a war going on outside. I did. Let me see what we gonna do. Thank you, man. One of my peoples bought me this joint, man. A little dribble bucket, something light. So, y'all come in here, man. I'm gonna open, Sandy, here you go. I'm gonna open the hotline in just a minute. He came in here from the door and said, Nas beats are horrible. Ha! We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that. Boom, 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 boom. He said, lurking and working, I caught alive. So, I put a, I uploaded a video late last night, and I was just, you know, weighing some topics, and I brought one to the table, and it has over 500 comments. That's a lot of motherfucking comments. Y'all went berserk on that. Let me see how many comments this joint's sitting at right now.
What would you say to some
461 comments. That's a lot of motherfucking comments. Word. Word. Johnny says Nas fell off after Nostradamus. I brought y'all here because I wanted to hear how y'all felt on this here topic. They might be horrible, but Ho's lyrics make up for which ends up being a dope song. His lyrics. Okay, I get it. I get it. The Walk With Me blogs are fire. I might continue to do those joints. It's a lot going on outside my office. I don't know if y'all hear all that music and shit. It's a car show down there. Do you have AZ over Nas in this debate? this whole topic is subjective. It's about what you like, right? Before I came here, I went and listened to King's Disease for the third time. Womp womp womp. I'm a beef. Womp womp womp. The song with Lauryn Hill is okay. It seemed like that song was made with a specific tempo in mind. It's definitely not gym music. I was playing it in the gym. And it's definitely not an album that you will listen to in the gym. It's not. For real. Big Six says AZ been smoking Nas. Did y'all see my previous video? 38 Special be talking, stabbed and shot. Facts. So, there's a young man, I believe the platform is called It's Biscuit. And there was a young man on there, and he was talking about Jim Jones and Nas and who's more relevant in terms of his generation. And he said some things that kind of made sense to me. And I'm looking at the comments, and people talk about Nas, right? He wrote a rapping backwards. He was rapping backwards, and he did this and he did that. I know all of that. I said that he straddles the line of kind of being a backpacker at times and shit. His skills is unmatched. There's don't make no mistakes about it. Pardon me. Don't make no mistakes about assessing his skills. He's highly skilled lyricist. He's always been highly skilled, but we're talking about the songs. You dig? So club and party music is the only music that matters. To me, no. My favorite rapper never made club and party music. His name was Half a Mill. He never made any club and party music. But what the young boy was saying, he didn't say that Nas was whack. He just said that the shit that Jim Jones has been putting out for the last 20 years was a little bit more, it resonated a little bit more with them. And then he went on to elaborate about Jim's fashion contributions and shit like that, whereas people my age, we would bring Nas up in fashion conversations. He's a fly nigga and shit. He definitely used to be throwing it on. So his generation, BB Simon, skinny jeans, chrome heart, all of that type shit, that shit means something to them. But the part that he said about, I haven't heard anybody say, yo, go, when they in a setting where people is kicking it, he said, I never heard nobody say, hey, yo, play that Nas. And I thought about it, and I thought about the settings that I be in. I got homies that's into hip-hop. All of them are into hip-hop. I got cousins that's into hip-hop. All of them are into hip-hop. I haven't gotten in nobody's car recently and heard any Nas music unless it was old. I be in the gym. In the gym, one of the gyms that I be at, I be having the Bluetooth. It's a big speaker in this gym. And whenever I come in the gym, they say, let Jamil hook up his phone to the Bluetooth. Let Millie rock, right? And if it ain't my phone, it's my man JC phone. He be in there, and he be playing records, and I be playing records, and he be playing records. And I just thought about how often do we play Nas or anything from Nas that's new? And it's not a lot. It's not a lot. If it is, it's probably something old. Seriously. People forget Nas' unreleased shit was unmatched. Peace. He said, nah, joint spicy, banger. They was talking about Brunch on a Sunday. Ain't that the name of the song? He got a song called Brunch on a Sunday or some shit like that. That was the name of a song, right? It was called Brunch on a Sunday or something like that. He said, I'm still stuck on I Gave You Power. They was talking about this song. I kept seeing this song mentioned in my comments. So I went to listen to it. It's on the King's Disease project. And I'm like, this is what they was talking about. I'm not dissing him. And I made another statement on my Instagram page, and I said, to me, and this is just my opinion, I said, I think that Guru had more dope songs. And there was people in the comments trying to discredit Guru. He's not lyrical. He's not this. He's not that. Which was a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. All art is subjective. I put Ice Cube as the #1 lyricist in hip hop. Cuba Beast. Holla at Dre says Nas sliced and diced Jay-Z. Nas won that battle. The Takeover, it didn't have a good, the track, the Takeover, it wasn't a dope track all like that. It wasn't. Ether, Ron Browse, murdered. And Nas got on there and murdered shit. He won the battle. But is Nas a better rapper than Jay-Z? Let's compare their bodies of work against each other. Is Nas a better rapper than Jay-Z? Do Nas have better music than Jay-Z? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And you got some people in here to say other things, right? Okay, cool. I got another question for y'all. If we were riding across country, and we had a couple of CDs that we would listen to. We had a Rick Ross CD, let's say Rick Ross Rich Forever, and we had Illmatic, which is a hip hop classic. Which one of them CDs would get more burn? Illmatic or Rich Forever? I'm listening. I want to hear the truth. If we were taking a trip and we had 2 CDs, which one of those CDs would get the most play? It's kind of even here. It's kind of even. A long distance. I'm gonna go with Rich Forever. I am. I'm not saying Rose is better than Nas, but Rose got that shit. He does. Okay. I got another one for y'all. People make this great hoopla about Illmatic, right? They make this great, it got, I think, 4 or 5 mics in the source. I can't remember. I know it got a lot, right? And people just, Illmatic. But it was written was better than Illmatic. What do y'all have to say about that? That's a statement I'm putting out there. It was written was better than Illmatic. What y'all got to say about that? I'm going to open up they said 5 mics. Okay, 5. I'm going to open up the hotline in a minute. I want to hear exactly what y'all have to say. Which was better? It Was Written or Illmatic? Exactly. But people will try to force Illmatic down a nigga throat. I had both CDs, and It Was Written was way better than Illmatic. It was way better than Illmatic. I'm dead serious. This is not a diss. This is the truth. But Illmatic is the one with the crazy reputation. Why is that? Joshua said you would open the lines when I ain't got nothing to say. Illmatic was prime Nas. Illmatic is not even close to It Was Written. It's not even close. And again, this topic is subjective. Everybody will have their own picks and shit like that. But no. When I'm in the gym, I'm playing all hip hop classics, right? And Nas got joints. Made You Look. Nostradamus, I Gave You Power, Shootouts, Life's a Bitch, One Love. I could go on and on, but these songs that I'm naming, these songs is from when I was a teenager and shit. These songs was when I was a teenager. what the young boy was saying, he's 22 years old, so he probably was, let's gauge his listening ear from, let's say him being 15 to 22, right? This is the shit that he was listening to. Did Nas put out anything during this period of him being a young man, turning into a young adult? Did he put out anything that had any hang time? I listened to that King's Disease shit. It was okay. It was. And some of y'all will say, well, he's 50 years old. What is he supposed to rap about? There's a whole bunch of niggas 50 years old that's rapping and spitting that shit. Jada's probably 50 years old. He is. Rose is probably 50 years old. His peers is 50 years old. This is the truth. His peers are 50 fucking years old. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that the ageism applies at all. I don't think the ageism, Rock Marcy is probably close to 50 years old. I don't think the ageism applies at all. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. Say what again, motherfucker? I appreciate your super chat. What's good? Hope all is well. Nas ain't for everyone. You have to be in a certain mind state for Nas music. Got to zone out to it. It Was Written was always better album to me over Illmatic. This is very well discussed and understood that It Was Written was better. It was. When I pull out Illmatic, right? Let's say I'm pulling the CD out my shelf and I'm about to put it in. I'm gonna play 4 songs. I'm gonna play New York State of Mind, I think, which is the first song. Crack, right? Then I'm gonna play Life's a Bitch. I think these titles are coming out in order too. New York State of Mind, Life's a Bitch, One Love, Flawless. And then it's like 2 more. I don't know how many tracks is on there. But it's probably like 2 more after that. So Memory Lane is a dope one. Whose World Is This? That's a dope one. Time Is Illmatic. Keep Static Like Wool Fabric. I helped you out. You misquoted him, I crook, but incredible verse on Life's a Bitch. Flawless. He didn't have very many features on Illmatic. I think AZ was the only feature. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I think Life's a Bitch with AZ was the only feature. It Was Written had more features on it and shit. You had Affirmative Action and shit like that on there. It Ain't Hard to Tell. Another one. Fire. He said you named the whole album. All of those ain't like that. Anyway, based on what the young guy was saying, I thought it was worth a discussion because I'm being for real. As I got older, listen to this, right? I said this earlier on Instagram. When Murder Mook was battling Loaded Lux, he said, here's a list of MCs that can kill you with their bars. Murder, Jigga, Jada, used to be Nas, but then he got on some shit about the moon and the stars. Y'all remember when he said that? And that's what I'm saying right here. When Murder Mook said, I've said this before on this platform. When Murder Mook said that, I'm like, he kind of telling the truth. It did get a little, I don't know. It did get a little, it got to the point where the fix that I used to get from Nas, I started to get it from Jay Electronica. There was other people that I would say, yeah, that's that shit right there. Thought-provoking, fly shit, well put together, well delivered, Renaissance man music and shit. I started to feel that way. And there was times when I would get a joint and I'm like, damn, that's that shit. Rich and Black with him and Raekwon. Rich, Black, African. That joint, when him and Ray going back and forth, this was Nas and Raekwon always brought out the best in each other. This was a constant. Whenever Nas and Raekwon was on the same track together, it was always bonkers. It was always bonkers. John Blaze, whenever Nas and Ray was verbal intercourse, whenever they was together, it was out of this world. But I could be spoiled. Maybe the bar was set so high because of his earlier work that as he progressed, it didn't resonate with me. I could say something similar about Jay-Z. I went to a Jay-Z concert one time, right? And I'm like, this shit ain't hitting. I actually seen him twice. I seen him once during the Rock the Mic era. I seen him at the Rock the Mic tour. Then I seen him later when he was wearing all black. Drake was on this tour with him. And y'all remember when he started wearing all black? It was like for like a year or some shit. He had this all black everything shit, whatever that was about. And I was sitting in the crowd and I'm like, he's performing the wrong songs. I'm like, these songs ain't it. Like, I'm like, man, what the fuck is this about? It didn't. And then years later, he would come out with some other shit and I'd be like, that's that shit. Like that joint still nigga. He would come out with, there was still flashes of greatness. And y'all might feel the same way about Esco, but me personally, I haven't seen Esco in a minute. Nas and Esco is two different people. Those are two different people, those two different levels of lyricism and shit like that. You have to be a certain age to understand what I'm saying. Nas and Esco, that's two different levels of lyricism. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said on song, Escobar season returns. Y'all remember he said that? He said that on Hate Me Now. Planet Asia is dope. Thank you. He said, you basically named the whole album. Come on now. I named joints that was on there that was pretty good, but it was like maybe like 4 or 5 joints that was bangers. I named them. Life's a Bitch, New York State of Mind, One Love, and you can pick one of them other joints that y'all named and shit like that. We're not giving hip hop the grace to age. He said, Nas went my son. Nas is like the Afrocentric, Asian, half man, half amazing. Great point earlier. Nas be dropping mid-level albums. His last classic was Stillmatic, and his last decent album was the album with the little kid on the hook. He shot his load on Ether. I said that on my video last night. I said, I don't know if he shot his load on Ether. I don't know if Ether took so much out of him. That shit that he did on Ether, he used to do shit like that on a regular. Like, he would do shit like that, and it didn't have to be a battle. But I think he pulled it all together and just, I'm going to spill it on this track. And I don't know if he ever returned to that level again. Is people in here say, Nas dropped 6 albums. Do we listen to Nas? Do you get in the car with your friends and they playing Nas? Anybody? Or are they playing Fabulous? This about to be a cold summer. Or are they playing Fabulous? Or are they playing other people? Nas and Ray Richard. Jay-Z took a lot from people. Nas didn't. I didn't come in here to kick dirt on Jay-Z. I didn't come in here to kick dirt on Nas. To establish your point of Nas being great, you don't have to diss Hove. You don't. We just trying to figure out some things right here. It Was Written was commercial. Rapping about a gun, I don't think so. Nas' worst album was the Nigga album. Jay Electronica is dope, but he barely dropped. That's what always made me mad with him. Life is Good ain't talked about enough. I agree. We were spoiled by Nas. That could be it. He could have spoiled us. He could have spoiled us. That could be the case. We became spoiled by some of his early offerings. To be great over a 25-year period, shit like that. This all came about because I just interviewed Quan, and I'm saying to myself, oh, I made a post and I said that Quan's song on the Street Disciple album, it saved the album. What do y'all think about that? I'm about to open up the hotline after we've been here for 30 minutes. We got 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to open up the hotline. I said I felt that that song is called Just a Moment with Quan. I felt that that was the best song on that project, and Quan said it was the 3rd single. I can't remember much more from that project that stood out to me. What y'all got to say about that? King's Disease 1 through 3 and Magic 1 and 3 are fire. You missing out on some good work. Nostradamus album fizzled his mystique. Stillmatic and Godson album was elite. Then Street's Disciple, bad sequencing. It hit his legacy again. He said, you like Mastermind? I love that joint. I love that. That's God level of hip hop. That's God level MCing. After receiving shit like that, you say like, I don't know, can you keep this shit going? Is it possible to keep this level of greatness going? I wish Nas and AZ did an album together. Big Six, great point. I don't know who Nas be around, but when he around dope artists, it shows. But when he alone, it also shows. Yes. I feel like Nas caught a stride once he started to do King's Disease. He started slow with the first one and then got back right around 2 and 3. HNIC is better than Stillmatic. Every Clue tape he scorched. Yo, Cat, I appreciate your super chat. When a nigga start eating lobster and flying private jets and not on the block no more, lives change and sometimes the hunger goes away. Doesn't mean he ain't elite. The hunger is gone. That's a great statement that you just made. And somebody told me this about Jim Jones. This is from a hustler from Harlem. He said, I'm going to tell you something, right? He said, I'm going to tell you why Jim has been able to keep going. I said, why? He said, Jim, before Jim is about to put out a project or something like that, he said, Jim is going to come back to the hood and he going to sit on the crate. And he going to spend a day in the hood, or he might spend 2 days in the hood on the block, sitting on a crate, smoking weed, you know, drinking champagne or whatever it is the rappers do. And during these, during his time spent on the hood, he will absorb the latest lingo, the latest flavor, and shit like that. And I said, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It does. I said, it does. I was around Lord Superb one time, right? And this is somebody who alleged that he wrote for Ghostface. But I talked to him face to face about this. And during the course of it, I got out of him what I felt was an authentic statement. And this is what he said. When he came out and he was saying he wrote for him and shit like that, he shouldn't have said that because that wasn't true. He didn't write for him. But he said this. He said, man, he was rich. He wasn't hanging in the hood. He said, I would leave them and I would go back to Redfern and Edgemere. I was going back to the projects. I was still smoking dust and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we get back in the studio and shit, all of that grime, you know what I'm saying, all of that flavor, all of that pain and shit, I would share it and create an environment in the studio. And he was able to feed off the energy, so to speak. So that's what I got out of him. He didn't write for him, but he felt his presence in the studio contributed to some of the shit that came out. Can't remember a classic track on King's Disease 3 albums. Me neither. Nas' worst album to me was the double disc. That's the Street Disciple album with Quan. And I just said that. I felt that Quan kind of like, people went and bought that double disc to hear that song, Moment of Silence. I don't know if they were still selling CD singles at the time. You probably actually had to buy the whole CD to listen in. Anyway, it's showtime. Y'all ready? I'm about to open up this hotline, and I want to hear what y'all got to say. Moderators, put this number in the chat. 201-233-7524. Call up and talk to the dribble. Call up and talk to the dribble, man. I want to hear what y'all got to say, man. This is a cipher for a reason. I think Nas is dropping music for his core fan base at this point. Gully, who has the weakest discography, Fab or Jada? I don't see no holes in neither one of their offerings. I'm being for real with you. Thank you for your super chat, but I don't see no holes in either one of them. During those years when I felt Nas was off his Dean a little bit, Fab was giving me that. He was filling my cup, the shit that I once looked for in Esco. Fly, slick talk and shit like that. Fab started to do it. So, Just a Moment is a classic, but that album has some good shit on it. I don't remember any other joints off of there either. Just a Moment was the only song I played on that album, for real, for real. Same here. Hit Boy is a phenomenal producer. The problem is Hit Boy is missing that New York City essence in terms of production. A lot of those beats sound unfinished. How are you going to say that he's a phenomenal producer and then saying his sounds unfinished? I don't get that. Since you brought him up, people was naming Nas's work with Hit Boy. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I swear I didn't get it. Whatever y'all was hearing from Hit Boy, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't get the whole Hit Boy thing. I don't. Some people need to just stick with that which has been working for them. When Nas worked with Trackmasters and DJ Premier, he didn't miss. I don't know why he would stop the formula. Like, people be trying to do so much and I guess create something new, but music fans don't want new. We want Esco. That's the truth. Homeboy, moderators, put this number in the chat. I want y'all to call in and tell me how y'all feel. 201-233-7524. That joint project he did with Junior Gong, that's the shit I'm talking about, when he started doing bizarre shit like that. Talk to the dribble.
Yo.
Speak up, pimp.
Oh yeah, this is Garrett.
Where you from?
Jersey.
How you feel about the discussion we having tonight?
I agree to an extent. I think the main part people forget about too. Like, I didn't mind him changing the subject matter, but the beats was not hitting. Salam Remy, when he was doing all them joints with Salam Remy,
Yeah.
that was his downfall. Because I like Salam Remy as a producer when he does R&B, but when he was doing the Nas joints,
Yeah.
that was it for me. And he was like, and what was the other joint that Chris Webber produced for him? Blunt Ashes? See, he was wilding.
Yeah.
that was his downfall. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you know what I mean?
Experimenting.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Because even the songs, I have my moves where I can get past the beats because I'm listening to what he's saying. He's still spitting, but that was the only thing that was hitting it for me. And the reason why I agree it was better than Illmatic. As much as I love Illmatic is a little bit dated compared to it was written.
I can agree with that. It was something about it was written that was better. I'm just being for real. I think some of Illmatic was recorded in like 92 or 93 or some shit like that.
Yeah, and see, it was so dated. And like I said, the beats was knocking.
Yeah.
But it was just dated compared to it was written.
People try to act like everything that you just said here is how I be feeling. There was times when the beats kind of lost me and shit like that. And somebody said in my comments earlier that he said out of his mouth, I chose specific beats because I didn't want the production to supersede the lyricism. What do you make out of that statement?
Which is crazy because the beats is going to draw you to the lyricism.
Exactly. That's what I said.
The beats is going to draw you to the lyricism. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. New York State of Mind.
Fire. Yeah.
He killed it.
Yeah.
But to me, when he did New York State of Mind Part 2 on Nostradamus, that beat was way better than me.
You liked it the second one?
The second one, that beat was, Yo Primo killed that beat.
I thought the second one was fire too. I
think that beat slightly got the first one.
Yeah.
But that beat was so fire, you had to listen to what he was saying.
I loved it. I feel New York State of Mind Part 1, he was rapping a little bit more aggressively.
He was.
Yeah.
And the lyrics was better, but that beat on Part 2 was better.
Yeah. If you like that if you like that style of music, check out this kid that I just posted from Staten Island. His name is Yasin. If you following his channel, Yasin is from Staten Island. He's from Stapleton Projects like Shaheem and Ghostface, but he just did a freestyle to New York, one of Nas' tracks, and he walked on that shit. I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to take another caller. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yep. Thanks. Call in and talk to the dribble. Somebody just said something about the firm. They try to make it like the firm. Dr. Dre said on an Eminem song, that the firm flopped. I never considered the firm to be a flop. I thought it was a dope ass. It was a dope ass album. Seriously. Talk to the dribble. Speak up, pimp. Hold on.
Go.
Talk to the dribble.
Yo, what's up, Gully? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm in here at work. How you feel about this discussion we having tonight?
Man, the discussion is perfect, yo. It's spot on with the Nas situation. I do agree that his beat picking skills is terrible, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It was written is way better than Illmatic. Illmatic is not trash. Like my man just said, the caller before me, it's a little dated, but it was written. What song on the album of Illmatic is better than Take It in Blood?
Nothing.
Black Girl Lost.
Nothing.
Power.
I gave you power. Yeah.
Infirm. What is it called? Infirm. Something action with Foxy Brown.
And Cormega. Affirmative action.
And then he got Dr. Dre. He got Dr. Dre on there.
Yeah.
At that time, that was big.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like Nas, man, he should have just stayed in that lane with the producers as far as beat picking, you know, but I think he fell off, in my opinion. I want to say after Stillmatic. Don't get me wrong, I like guys.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing around Stillmatic, Godson. Like by the time he got to that Streets Disciple project with Quan, it was like he didn't have anything left. It was like that for a period of time. Then I looked on World Star one day and he had this joint with Raekwon called Rich and Black. And I was like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. It's like when he get around a certain type of energy like Raekwon, AZ, it's like you get the Esco. But when you're around Salam, Remy, and all these other niggas, Will I Am, I'm like, yo, he get on this weird shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you let Will Will I Am produced? What's the single of Hip Hop Is Dead? It's called the Hip Hop Is Dead album. That single, that first single he had off of that album, produced by Will I Am.
Yeah.
That shit trash.
People don't be wanting to say it. There's been situations when I'm like, damn, Esco, like, what the fuck, man? Like, you see, I keep calling him Esco because I'm stuck on that. That was his. That's when he was at his best.
Now, Gully, let me ask you this. I think the QB Finest album is a classic. That's just me. Even though it's all the.
I fuck with that. I fucked with that. Yeah, I fucked with that.
And you know, I think Nas had pushed that because it came out of Columbia Records, produced by Ill Will and Nas. So
Okay.
I think Nas the one put that album together. So I thought that was a classic in my opinion.
I fuck with QB's Finest. I fucked with that heavy.
Now, what about like my man, the caller before me? Before I go, I got one more before I go. New
Okay.
York State of Mind Part 2.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Now let's talk about I Am album. I like I Am album. Everybody want to hate on it. I like it. You gotta hate me now. I want to talk to the FBI and the CIA and the motherfucking congressman. And then you got ghetto prisoners, rise. You got like you got.
It was joints on there. I tattooed I Am on my body. I didn't even offer this to the discussion. I got several Nas inspired tattoos on my body. Just for, you know, yeah, hell yeah, at least 3 of them and shit. Yup.
Damn, that's what's up, Gully.
Yup.
But man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm gonna keep on.
Appreciate you calling in, man. I'm gonna take another caller. Next caller, come on in. Talk to the dribble, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this discussion we have. And these discussions be necessary sometimes, yo. Baltimore, talk to the dribble. What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, man. You said you ain't hear the last 6 joints?
Nah, maybe just a couple jams, man. But in order, the way that I receive music has always been by word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J once said, you know, it's funky, because you heard it from hearsay. The jam that you love that don't be getting no airplay. If a nigga around me or niggas around me ain't talking about it, or I don't hear somebody say, yo, you got to go hear this, or you got to go listen to that, then I'm probably not going to take it serious and shit. There was a time when music was in our faces. They had record stores, and you would see CDs physically, visually. You would see them. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you bought a CD. If you was walking by, or you might have seen a billboard, or you might have seen an article in Source Magazine or something, say, yo, I'm going to go fuck with that. We don't have that shit no more.
See the poster walking down the street on the line. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
There was things that reminded us that it was some new crack out and shit, and we would go and try it and shit.
Let me tell you this first, though, G. You got to get some new ears around you, yo, because if you ain't hear them last 6 joints, yo, that's kind of like bad journalism saying somebody fell off and you ain't hear that recent work. Do you not agree?
I get what you're saying, but I be around nothing but MCs. These niggas that I be around, these niggas that I be interviewing and shit, I be in these studios and shit. They're not playing Nas. They not playing Nas, and they not saying.
King's disease and how he speaking on Maggio, you gotta put your ear. A lot of times I don't want to hear what nobody say about music because I got my own opinion on music.
Right.
But only thing I'm gonna say, G, is to you, yo, do that shit, man. That's some good music, yo. That's some good music for you. I'm trusting.
I was listening to King's Disease in the gym before I got on here, and I was like, the tempo on some of them songs, it was like this laid back, smooth shit.
It ain't no gym shit though, Gully.
I discovered that it wasn't no gym shit, man.
But you know Nas ain't no DMX. You know Nas ain't give you that push that you need in the gym, bro. You know
He has.
Style. He laid back smooth. That's gonna pump you up, get your heartbeat up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to hold you up, yo. I respect what you're doing.
Appreciate you calling in. Thanks a lot.
But go ahead and do what you do, baby.
Yeah, thank you. Next caller. I caught an ear disease listening to those Nas albums with Hit Boy. Virginia, talk to the dribble. What's up?
Peace, yo. This is Willie Ways, man. How you doing, Gully?
Hey, what's happening? I seen your post earlier. You said that the Slick Rick album is fire, and I know that Nas is on that joint. I think Nas is responsible for putting those records out with them legendary artists. I seen a post about that. All right, tell me about this joint that he did on the Slick Rick project. Is it worth a listen?
Absolutely. I mean, I enjoyed the Slick Rick joint because just like, let's think, Slick Rick is 60. He ain't dropped in 25 years, and he musically sounds refreshed. He hasn't lost a step lyrically, delivery-wise, and Nas is just doing Nas. I'm not I've listened. I enjoyed a good part of that last 6-album run. I feel like Streets Disciple 2 and Magic are classics. You should check out Magic at the gym. I would say that's probably the most gym-friendly project out of that last little set or whatever.
Okay. Will do. I'm gonna check out that Slick Rick joint when I get up off here. Everybody that's watching this live stream, make sure y'all go check out Slick Rick's new project. He got Esco on there. Will, I appreciate you calling in.
Yo, but I think Nas' catalog is one of the most important in totality of, and I don't think it's gonna be appreciated until way down the line, man. I think his versatility that he expressed even on the production tip, I think it was necessary for somebody with a pen that strong.
Okay. I appreciate you calling in.
With you,
yeah, thanks a lot. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the dribble, man. We in here talking about Nasty Nas, Nas Escobar, Nasir Jones, Queensbridge finest. Nas gave a shout out to my cousin Pappy on Moment of Silence. I have a question. Do you think MCs who write their lyrics are better than MCs who freestyle in the booth? Of course, writtens are better. Writtens are more thought-provoking and shit. If he keep doing Star Wars and Black Republican type shit, he good. He said, wait, are you a producer? Nah, I actually am. I'm an executive producer. I'm on my 3rd album, PILLMATIC 3. I work with nothing but heavyweight lyricists like Raz Kaz, Planet Asia, Mickey Fax, Smoke Dizza. You know all of them niggas. Hus Kingpin, Shaheem. Let me take another caller. You tried me, didn't you? You tried me. Talk to the dribble.
What's going on, Gully? What's the word, my guy?
We in here talking hip-hop tonight, man. This is something that's lacking on the internet, man. Everybody want to talk about destruction, drugs, paperwork, who going to jail, who snitching, and all of that. We keeping it hip-hop tonight, man. What you got to add to the bill?
I got a question, Gully, and a quick comment.
Let's go.
Which album did you like more out of Biggie's first one or second one?
Ooh-wee. I don't know if you can compare the two because the second one was a Life After Death was a double CD. The first one, Ready to Die, was written from the perspective of a broke nigga and shit. He was talking about, give me the loot, coming up. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. By the time he got to Life After Death, he went through the whole Versace shit. He was Frank Whitey talking this Big Willie shit, and it was 2 songs that stood out on there, on the Life After Death project that they just know it's actually 3 that's unforgettable. Somebody's Got to Die. That's like a motion picture. That's one of the greatest raps ever written. You can close your eyes and watch that song unfold. I Got a Story to Tell and Niggas Bleed. Those songs were abnormally good. They just were abnormally good on the storytelling tip. I was told that you have different levels of MC. You got the MCs who could write rhymes, and then you got the MCs that could write stories. The storytellers are Biggie, Slick Rick, Scarface. It's like 5 of them, and they highly revered. I was just told that them niggas that write them stories, they on another level. But out of those 2 projects, I appreciate them both, if that answers your question.
Definitely answered it, but that's how I feel about the Nas first and second album. I feel like my last little question is, I see a debate been going around with The Game and Jadakiss. Who you feel like is a much better artist and should be ranked higher as far as a lyrical guy?
I think Jadakiss is better. I'm not being biased. When Game speak about his ranking and his relevance, Game done battled a lot of niggas. Game put out some dope music repeatedly. He should be recognized for his pen. Even though some of his songs, like especially his early shit, he used to name drop people a lot. Like he used to do that a lot. And I don't know what that was about, but Jadakiss has been going since when you get to going at 30 and 40 3 decades and shit like that, you got to commend guys like that. You know what I'm saying? And Jadakiss is respected by the young and old, and you seen what he did in Madison Square Garden.
I just never been able to get into a Jada project in its totality. You always got some bright spots, some gems, but like from an album, it always seemed like there's no balance or a sequence to his music.
I agree with you. I know exactly what you're saying. When you play some of his projects, you almost have to skip around. You know what I'm saying? You have to skip around where some joints you could just play and just let them rock all the way through, like Cuban Links. Another project is better than Illmatic. But
Nas got the best verse on there on that
verbal intercourse. Yeah, he did. He set that shit off. But this has been something that's consistent. Whenever he occupies the same space as Raekwon, greatness. I don't know what it's about, but Ray just bring out the best in him, yo. For real.
I think Dro be lacking motivation sometimes. He's so great. I think he be needing something to push him a little. Like the Jay-Z battle. He needed that.
Yeah.
He needed that because he was coming downhill a little bit. But
he was.
Right up.
He was. I'll never forget the night that I heard it. Funk Master Flex kept dropping bombs on that shit. But Ether came at a time when Hove was actually taking over or had taken over the whole rap game and shit. So appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks a lot.
Stay up, Gully.
Yep, yes, sir. Talk to the dribble. Nas is that dude. Slick Rick new album is fire. Talk to the dribble.
Yo, what up?
We in here building, man, on this art form, man. Hip hop. What you got to add to the build tonight?
Yo, is Illmatic paying homage or D-Rod? And and for somebody like Elzar being nice as he is, was that violation? Like,
say that again.
Illmatic, Elzar from Detroit.
Oh, Elzar. I heard a lot about him. I never really tapped into his music, but whenever I spoken to MCs from Detroit, Royce the 5'9", Obi Trice, they would always mention his name and shit. What's his story? Maybe you could share it with us.
He's a dope MC out of Detroit, you know what I'm saying? One of the nicest, and he redid Illmatic, but for his own stuff, he had a lot of projects, but it seemed like he ain't put enough videos into them. But when he redid Illmatic, he dropped like 4 videos. So it's like, damn, that's a little bit too much when you don't put that much work into your own stuff. My opinion, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna check that out and shit. I'm gonna have to do the knowledge on LZ. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
In regards to this whole thing about Nas having lapses over the years, how you feel about that?
I'm kind of anxious to see what he does with Premier, man, because that's going to be some big shoes to fill to start a whole album with Premier. So I'm anxious to see what that's going to be about. But with Hit Boy, he didn't have a lot of beats, and then when he did have a hot beat, he did the switch up with it. Like, he ain't let the shit ride. He switched the beat up. Like, there was a few songs throughout the Nas Hit Boy series where the beat switched up.
Yeah.
And like one of the beats be hot, and then he switched it up to something.
To some other shit.
Ain't hot, and it's like, damn, why y'all do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I don't know about the, the Hit Boy stuff. It's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah, we looking forward to the Premier shit too. Him and Premier and Nas, they got a history and it's been incredible. So I'm on the same page as you as far as anticipating to work with DJ Premier. I'm gonna take another caller. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Peace. Talk to the dribble, man. We in here talking about hip hop tonight. I put out a video prior to this. It was I I was triggered by a discussion that this young man was having on, I believe the platform was called It's Biscuit, and he was comparing Nas and Nas' relevance to Jim Jones of all people. Speaking of Jim Jones, I ain't never seen an MC who is not appreciated like Jim. People just try to act like, y'all try to act like he's not the top diplomat. Y'all try to act like he's not the top diplomat. I don't understand that part. If you call here with your number blocked, it say no caller ID. I'm not gonna answer it. That's to the guy who just called me. Unblock your number, pimp. I gotta know what city you calling in from. Mastermind was classic. Illmatic is just a hip hop classic. Nas held down that Wu-Tang tour. It was pretty much a Nas tour. They came in and out. He stayed on the stage the whole time. Nas doing great for still putting stuff out. That's how I feel. Thank you. So y'all saying he need to link with Ninth finally? Nah, he need to link with DJ Premier. Straight up. That joint album with Damian Marley is a classic. Songs Listen to Leaders and Friends from that album and survived. Their tour for that album was sold out. Okay. New York State of Mind, y'all bugging. We love New York State of Mind, both of them. You heard that Nas and Khaled Victory song. That's Nasty Nas. I got to check it out. They say the second New York State of Mind is talking about Bimmy. I don't know what that's about. He said you got to go back and listen to The Streets Disciple again. That album was a classic and ahead of its time. I totally disagree with you, and I don't think I got to listen to it again. I don't think I got to listen to that shit again, man. The song that he did with Quan was the best song on that double disc. I remember just flipping through. It was a couple joints that was okay, but I remember flipping through them and trying to find the song Just a Moment with Quan. It was that good. And Quan said that Just a Moment was the third single off that album. So that means the first two singles didn't catch. So how good was it if the first two singles missed? It took for the third album for the shit to take off. Nas never fell off. His beat production is questionable, though. Brent, thank you. J Electronica Ghost wrote for Nas. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. I never heard about anybody writing for Esco. I don't believe that part. The Damian Marley album, some records on there, too. Listen to Magic and KD3. Bay Area's in the building. Sean, I appreciate you for posting the number 201-233-7524. I'm going to be here another 3 or 4 minutes, man. That'll be a good hour. We had a great discussion tonight. Tomorrow, I told y'all that I was introducing a supplement. I got it. They in stock. I'm just waiting for the images to be uploaded to the website, but it's out. It's called Trifecta. It's some shit that's going to make your skin glow and your dick grow. You got to fuck with it, man. It's great for stamina, circulation, your libido, and overall wellness. This was tailor-made from about 5 or 6 different herbal extracts: ashwagandha, maca, horny goat weed, and something else. So I can't. If I had one here, I should have had one with me. But I'm gonna take another call. Tennessee, talk to the dribble. What's up?
Appreciate it. Let me get through, Gully.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Ray was going through a similar thing too. You know, he dropped a couple albums.
Yeah.
The first 2 albums, and he went on the same trajectory as Nas. Questionable beats.
Yeah.
Questionable producers. So it kind of goes to your point about, man, these guys get this money, man. They get on top of the game. It's not to lose their fire. It's not to lose their hunger.
Yeah.
So the point you said about Jim going back to the hood, you know, being around, you know, young niggas, you know, was coming up. So I think that's a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, you know, I said Ray went through the similar thing because after Ray's first 2 albums, man, like some of that shit was whack. I was disappointed at times. Like I won't lie.
the bar was set so high. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be for real. When they started out, I believe Ray was my favorite out of them. He was one of the ones that was talking, you know, street shit. As time progressed, Ghostface kind of stole me. And I loved them together. They ragu together. Ray and Ghost together, that's ragu. But I believe out of the Wu-Tang, it's 10 of them, 9 plus Capadonna. I believe Ghostface ended up being the shining, just the diamond in that whole icy piece. I think he just became the most radiant. And I gotta agree with you in some regards to Raekwon. But whenever him and Nas is together, it's flawless. I appreciate you calling in from Tennessee. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. But boom, 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 boom. I love how Nas took a verse from One Love and put it in a movie. That was ill. Yeah, that was in Belly. That's 60 minutes, man. I got work to do. I've been here an hour. I appreciate y'all for coming through, fucking with the dribble. This is a healthy discussion. I feel we got our point across. Everybody spoke their piece in regards to Nas Escobar. I'm going to go ahead and listen to some more of these projects that y'all suggested. That's how good music is passed around by way of word of mouth, for real. I really believe that. If the population don't say it's dope, it ain't dope. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get the notifications, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at IamGullyTV_. I got a personal IG page too at Dribble Almighty. Go over there and fuck with me. Go to my website, therealdribble.com. It's merched up. That my supplement will be out tomorrow. It's called Trifecta, man. Y'all brace yourself, man. We going up. All right? Peace.